This is Super Yacht News with E. Sisman.
Hi, welcome back to the channel. All right, so we've got a bit of a strange story for you tonight. A boat that washed up on a beach in Spain, thousands of miles from where it set off months earlier. The boat appeared on Thursday, the 9th of November, about 200 meters off the coast of Coruña in northern Spain. A local man was out walking along the beach and he sounded the alarm around 1400 hours when he saw this boat drifting towards the coast. Now, the boat is a Lagoon 400 catamaran and the name of the boat was Lucky Cat. Now, more ominously, there was a message handwritten on the side of the vessel saying to call the US Coast Guard and a phone number, the US Coast Guard in Spain. So later that day, the boat ran aground and it's now beached 30 meters onto the sand. There was nobody on board this vessel. Now, there's a few confusing stories out there, but I think we're gonna lay them out straight here in this video. Now, Spain's Maritime Rescue had received a call from a fishing vessel saying that they'd also seen this catamaran drifting, but that there was nobody on board. Now, by the time that they responded to the boat, it was beached, right? So the local authorities are now digging a channel with excavators to try to get the yacht back into the water, as you can see in the video footage here. Now, it turns out the vessel had crossed a large part of the Atlantic unmanned after the captain of the vessel had died on board. Now, written on the side of the vessel is a message believed by some reports to have been written by the captain of the yacht as some type of distress message. However, it appears to have been written by the US Coast Guard after having searched the vessel and confirming to others that the vessel was adrift. Now, the vessel reads, VL searched, adrift, contact US Coast Guard, and then there's a phone number, right? So it's a little confusing who and where the owner's body was recovered, though. That's the thing that we don't understand. Sorry, I said the owner, I meant the captain. Now, one report says that a rescue operation was carried out in July, on the 23rd of July, so 4 months earlier, when a unit of the Canadian Rescue Service located the catamaran in front of the Azores Island, which is in the Atlantic. Now, report 1 that we've read says during the storm they boarded the vessel and found the captain's body and recovered it. However, because of the weather, they left the vessel. His body was returned to Halifax in Nova Scotia. That's the first report that we've read, but we don't think that's correct. Report number 2 had a quote from the Canadian Search and Rescue, and it said, as far as we know, the man was transiting the Atlantic in the catamaran for the owner of the vessel. He was taking it to Europe. The owner is a Slovakian. Little else is known about him or the circumstances of his death. That information was provided by Halifax, and it says in the second report that they were in charge of the rescue, and it was limited to indicating that the captain died on board and that the boat was located adrift by a merchant ship, and the body was removed and transported to the United States, not Canada, with the help of the military. That's what they said. Now, this report was also translated from another language, so I think some of it might have been lost in the report. This is what we think happened. A merchant ship is credited with calling in the discovery of the yacht adrift. We believe that they may have been responding to a mayday either from the vessel itself or a mayday relayed by the coordination centre located in Halifax. Now, reports mention this Canadian Search and Rescue in Halifax. Well, this is where the Joint Rescue Coordination Centre Halifax is, the JRCC Halifax, and it's operated by the Royal Canadian Air Force and the Canadian Coast Guard. So when you set up your Inmarsat-C equipment, which is a satellite-based equipment, when you set that up, you select a coordination centre, and then if you press a mayday, it goes straight to that centre, so you don't have to sort of find a number and stuff like that. That's the way they set up. Now, if he set it up for the Canadian Centre and he pressed the Mayday button on his Inmarsat-C unit, then they would have received that call. And from that point forward, they will coordinate the rescue regardless of where that vessel might be. Now, if they were coordinating and they received a Mayday call or a call from another vessel, then they would have sent out requests for vessels in that area to get in touch and to go and search, right? Now, if the US Coast Guard may have responded to that call and found the vessel, removing his body and writing that notice on the side, unable to recover the vessel due to the storm at the time. the Coast Guard's handwritten message saying that the vessel's been searched, and it was adrift. Now, after that point, which we believe may have been near the Azores, the catamaran drifted all the way to northern Spain and beached herself on the sands there. It's believed that the captain of the vessel, which carried a Croatian flag, had been hired to sail her across the Atlantic for the owner, as I mentioned earlier. Information found on board the yacht seems to suggest the journey may have started somewhere on the coast of Virginia in the US. So anyway, still no information on the cause of his death. So if you've got any further details, if you know any more about this story, please be sure to get in touch. You can get us at news@esysman.co.uk. All right, so we'll move on to our next story now. This is about Motor Yacht Koru. Now, we mentioned Motor Yacht Koru, the 127 metre or 416 foot sailing yacht, was heading across the Atlantic in a previous video, and that they had simply had the Americas in their AIS destination, which is quite a broad location, isn't it? It's like almost like saying Europe. Anyway, since that message was put in there, their AIS has stopped updating on the websites, and there's been no update in a few days, as you can see from this footage here from Marine Traffic. However, we have confirmed that the yacht is heading to Florida, to Port Everglades to be exact. As you can see here from the Port Everglades website, the yacht is scheduled to arrive on the 23rd of November, and it even says that the following location will be the Bahamas. So, also interestingly, Bezos' support vessel, Abiona, popped up in Florida already. So that vessel is already in Port Everglades. It's surprising because the yacht's last position on the web-based AIS is in La Ciotat in France, where she was in for refit work. Now, the yacht was docked in Port Everglades, but she was confirmed to be broadcasting at AIS locally on VHF, although it's not showing up on the web-based tracking sites. Now, we know how they're doing this. We're not going to say it here on the channel, but we know that how they're doing that. What that actually means is that they remain compliant with the rules, for broadcasting AIS, but they're able to prevent that information from going onto the web-based tracking sites. We know the difference between a yacht that just switches off the AIS and a yacht that is continuing to broadcast locally, but has managed to prevent it from propagating onto the websites. So that's a very interesting development. Okay, so we'll move on. One last thing, we've got a yacht spot here. This is Motor Yacht Genesis, spotted in Dubai recently. The yacht was built by Heaton Yachts for the former owner of Heaton Yachts, Vajid Alekperov. However, because of the sanctions laws in the Netherlands, he was unable to take delivery of the vessel. The vessel was brand new. It was still being built when the invasion of Ukraine started, so he was unable to take delivery of that yacht. Now, the yacht was supposedly sold under authorization from the Dutch government. However, we've been unable to confirm that the vessel ever changed hands and that it was actually sold. Now, also, the yacht was renamed from Galactica to Genesis whilst still in his ownership and has not been changed so far. I mean, that's not evidence, that's just something that we've noted. And after leaving the Netherlands, brand new yacht, leaving from where it was built, and the vessel sailed to Dubai and went straight into a dry dock period, which is a little odd. Now, the yacht, like I said, the yacht's just left where it was built. If it needed anything doing, then it should have been done there. It's possible that something happened on the way over to Dubai and they've had to take it out of the water to repair whatever it is. Like I said, brand new yacht, that kind of stuff can happen. It's very unusual, though, for a European-built yacht to go to a place like Dubai to have refit work done. Normally, they go in there because they can't go to the European-based places, right? Like Motor Yacht A has been seen out of the water there recently, and also Madame Goo. So they've been, and they're out there because the owners are sanctioned. Well, that's what we believe. The reason why they're there, Mr. Melnichenko is sanctioned, as is Mr. Scotch, who owns Madame Goo, and their vessels have been out there since the beginning of the war, and they've had to have work done on them. So they're using the Dubai-based places. So yeah, so the yacht leaves the Netherlands under this, authority from the Dutch government because it's been sold, and then it heads straight to a safe country, Dubai, and then the vessel goes out into a dry dock period. So we're not convinced that the vessel ever changed hands, but like I said, we've been unable to confirm it either way. what I'm going to be doing in this series of vlogs is recording the journey across the Atlantic. Anyway, if you want to see the 10-part vlog filmed on board a yacht I was on crossing the Atlantic and beyond, sign up to patreon.com/eSysman. You'll find behind the scenes videos and extras not published on YouTube, including behind the scenes videos from our recent trip to Italy, Monaco and France. We also recently made a video showing how we make the SuperYacht News videos, as well as the patron chat series and the patron only Q&A series, where you can ask questions answered in patron only videos. We just posted a Q&A 3 yesterday. It's a 30-minute video. It's been well received by the patrons so far. What happens to a captain if they are in control and piloting the vessel drunk? You'll also get access to YouTube features advert free. And don't forget to check out our other channel, SuperYacht News. Type in @superyacht-news into YouTube and you'll find the channel. It's all the goodness of this channel, broken up into bite-sized chunks. You can also get this video on there. Usually gets posted 24 hours after you see it on here. So if you want to just subscribe for news only, then you can subscribe to the SuperYacht News channel and you'll get it all on that channel. All right, guys, if you've got any information for us about any of the stories here or any other stories, please be sure to get in touch. You can do it in the email address in the ticker here. You can do it in the about page of the YouTube channel. You can get us on Instagram, on Facebook Messenger, on Twitter, and on Threema. Please be sure to like this video, very important for the algorithm. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for future notifications. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye-bye.